Hey everyone, welcome back to Book Reviews. Again, sorry it's been so long. Finals just got over and I've been kind of wrapping things up, so it's been a while since I've had time to read. This week's title is by an author named David B Coe. I believe that's how you say it, David B Coe. I'll throw it up here spelled so you can look him up. And his book, The Children of Amarid. I'm a big fantasy buff, you all know that, and The Children of Amarid is kind of a fun little fantasy genre. It reminded me a lot of the Tales of Earthsea, mainly because of the magic, but we'll get back to that. So first of all, parental content advisory. This book is very clean. There's no sexual references really whatsoever, other than some flirting in a bar or tavern. There is drinking and getting drunk, but nothing like crazy revelous. Is that the right word? Revelry? Yeah, that's the right word. And then there is murder and fighting and fantasy, magical sort of stuff. So if you're against that thing, you won't like any of the books I read. But it's not a bad book. The first one is named The Children of Amarid. It's in a series called the Lon Tobin Chronicles, and the first book is really fun. It's set in, kind of a medieval style, typical wizard sort of background. There is the typical foresight, throwing fire, creating shields, that sort of stuff. One interesting thing is that in order for the mages to properly channel their magic, not focus is different. Channel means to even access the power. They kind of bond with birds. They bond with birds, eagles, hawks, owls. They start with the hawk, and then if the hawk dies, they move on to an owl sometimes. It really just depends on the level of their expertise and what animal is right to go with them. And so that's how their magic is channeled, and then it's focused through what they called a cyril, which is basically just a crystal on a staff. And it's the hawks that make me think of the Tales of Earthsea, mainly because in one country, you have the mages, the hawk mages they're called, or eagle mages or owl mages depending. Hawk mages, owl master, and then eagle something or other. But in another land, it's all technology. There's no magic whatsoever. It's pretty advanced, kind of steampunk feel to things. Overpopulated Japan, China, big city sort of feel, and that's again where I get that feeling. The first book was good. It focuses on a boy named Jared and his uncle named Baden, and this strange threat. Somebody's impersonating mages and going around the countryside, burning villages, killing people, stealing, and blaming them for it, and it's causing the villagers to distrust them, and in the end you find out some cool things. Spoiler, skip the next second, you find out that they're actually from the other country, and their magic is actually their advanced weaponry, which was actually really cool. I really enjoyed that part. I didn't necessarily like some of the other books in the series, mainly because I don't like the way he switches between characters. There are books that you read where it's talking about one character's perspective, and then it switches to a totally different character's perspective, and it gives you kind of a cool feel of what's going on. In David's books, he does it with every single character, which I do not like. So instead of having like one or two main characters, there's actually 12 or 13 different main characters, every single one of them having a different perspective of what's going on, and sometimes it's the same thing, the same situation over and over and over and over again. For example, there's a part where they're in a group and they get split up, and everybody goes in different directions, and then during that time all 7 people it goes through what they're thinking, what they're seeing, what they discover, every single person, and it's tedious. I feel like it was an excuse to fill up more pages. I mean, they're long books. They're like 500 or 600, pages of book. And so it wasn't necessary to do that, I felt. The other thing I didn't like is that the main characters aren't consistent through the whole book series. A book series that I'm going to review soon is the Tales of Eli Monpress, favorite series, by the way. I've read it over and over and over again. And I like it because it's the same main characters in every book, just a different story about those main characters. And they introduce a couple of sub-characters, but it's not an entire book about them. In David's Lon Tobin Chronicles, every book is about a completely different person. The first book is about Jared and Baden and the people they go with. The second book is about a man named Oris who's introduced in the first book, but becomes the main character of the second book. And then the third book is kind of similar, bouncing back and forth between a bunch of different main characters. It's not my favorite writing style. The technology aspect of it is really cool, and that was a part I did really enjoy. The magic is fun. I mean, it's not poorly written. It's just not a style that I like. David does a very good job of connecting elements, of writing fluidly, and a lot of it really is interesting and fun to read. I really did enjoy most of it. I just don't like those two things, those two aspects I already mentioned, and that's pretty much it. Please go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble. I guess the links will be in the comments or description below. And please buy them. Please purchase them. Don't get them off the internet. Don't pirate these. These authors need your help. Again, check out my Patreon page. I could really use the help with getting more videos out there. I'll try to focus on at least one a week for the next few months while I wait in between semesters of school, and then I'll try and keep those in school at least every other 2 weeks. Love you guys. Can't wait to talk with you again. Have a great day.